If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you running a business is tough. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you the visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Join the over 21,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/C-suite. netsuite.com/C-suite.
Welcome to the Superhero Homies Podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I'm here with the homie Kevin.
Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you're having a great end of week and beginning of new week, aka Sunday.
Depending on when you listen to this, I
suppose that's true. Or Monday morning.
Or Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever day it is that you listen to this.
Or whatever day you decide you become a listener, and all of a sudden now this is where you're at in the podcast listening. Because, that hopefully isn't too far away from this point, because we're talking about something very special tonight.
That's right. It's Christmas. Or at least it's Christmas if you're a comic book nerd or a superhero nerd or a movie nerd. If you're any type of nerd, then Christmas is approaching.
Basically, like Christmas, this is going to be one of the biggest events of the year coming up, and we are hella excited for it.
Hell yeah. And just like Mr. Krabs said in SpongeBob, this Christmas feels like the very first Christmas to me. And by Christmas, referring to Infinity War.
Sweet Christmas.
Oh, in the words of Luke Cage.
In the words of Luke Cage. Mm-hmm. There you go. How many Christmas puns can we... But yes, Infinity War.
Yeah, our preview podcast, ladies and gentlemen. So don't get too worried. We have not seen advanced screenings yet. As a matter of fact, to my knowledge, what's today?
The 22nd.
Yeah, no one has seen any advanced screenings yet. So if they're telling you otherwise, they're lying. Advanced screenings won't premiere until tomorrow, the 23rd. So,
okay. Unless it's one of the Russos, then they'd be pretty cool. I'm pretty sure they're telling the truth.
I hope that the director said, well, I don't know. Shit, maybe they haven't.
Maybe they haven't seen the final product. Right. They've just got to be the making of the product.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, so this is going to be a really fun podcast here. We're just going to have a preview podcast as to what we can expect in the movie, what we hope to see, things that could potentially come to light in this movie. So it's going to be a really fun one, really good one.
Oh yeah. We've had extensive note-taking sessions, and we've had tons of time to dissect the trailers. Mm-hmm. And yes, unfortunately, I've had to watch the multiple trailers multiple times now, kind of breaking my tradition I wanted to make for myself.
Yep.
Yeah. Dadgummit.
Yeah. But
for the sake of the podcast.
Yeah, so if this is your first time listening, you can't really expect any spoilers from our preview podcast. But at the same time, maybe you can, because we don't know where we're saying if it's going to come true or not.
True. I mean, we make predictions. We know and understand the movies and the way they make these movies pretty damn well. So a lot of the times we've been right, but then we still get surprised too. So don't get too pissed at us, please. That's just the rules of the fight.
Right.
Yeah.
I just say that just as a disclaimer, so.
Eventually it's going to be like a little asterisk star in little YouTube pages or something, like, warning, these are only... Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
But of course, before we go too far into the podcast, we got to start off first with some comic news.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you for the intro.
Yeah, news theme.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've done news theme.
I guess it has. Yeah. We have a good bit of comic news tonight.
Of course.
Oh, yeah. Yep. As you can imagine, some of this may or may not apply to Infinity War.
Let's find out.
Actually, a lot of it doesn't.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But the first bit of comic news does. So first up, Carrie Coon will be playing the part of Proxima Midnight in Infinity War. So for those of you who are wondering, who's playing who in Infinity War, we still don't know who the hell Peter Dinklage is, but we'll discuss that in the podcast.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that later, but yeah.
But Carrie Coon is playing Proxima Midnight, and I was extremely happy about that because she's a fantastic actress. You guys may know her from she's I know her mostly from The Leftovers. She was in Gone Girl, the Ben Affleck movie. She's one of the main characters in the other really great TV show Fargo. Okay. But yeah, so she's going to be playing Proxima Midnight here. And
which part did she play in Leftovers? Was she
Nora?
Okay, yeah, cool. That's who I thought you were talking about. Awesome.
Oh yeah. So that has me, even more excited about her. And with there not being any advanced screenings yet, like no one really knows exactly how these characters are going to be portrayed.
Right.
No one really knows if they have a lot of depth to them. We've only heard rumors and stirrings, but hey, they got so far great actors and actresses in these roles. So I'm excited. Yeah. I forgot to cut off the AC.
What's next?
Next up, number 2, Ryan Coogler will receive the CinemaCon Director of the Year award.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! That is
Ryan.
Most definitely, that is a greatly deserved award for Mr. Coogler. He's done fantastic work. Of course, he's being praised for Black Panther, and now they've finally just gotten around actually to saying that we think we want him for Black Panther 2, and I'm like, no shit.
Are you kidding me? It took you this long? Someone opening night was like, guys, he's got to be here for Black Panther 2. Shh, don't play your cards so far away. Play them closer to the chest.
Right. Yeah. I mean, his stock has got to go up now.
Right. I was just thinking something about that because the price for him just tripled, right. if not that. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, like he can say, I've made a $1 billion movie, guys. I made a movie that beat Titanic. So
right. You see the records? That's my name up in there. Yeah. So what do you offer?
Right.
So I could see them wanting to just now, quote unquote, think about him being Black Panther 2.
Yeah, and that's another thing that people don't think about is that this guy's really young. He's like 29, maybe 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of inspirational.
Yeah. It's like, I'm the same age. I do not have my shit together in comparison to this guy. So yeah, big ups to Ryan Coogler. Congrats. Next up, we got a little bit of DC news here. So, what's up?
No, I was just thinking to myself, like, how forgotten is DC going to be this week? Like, shit.
Yeah,
it's going to be too easy to just glaze over them. Yeah, but what's going on?
So, the Birds of Prey movie gets director Kathy Yan. So the Birds of Prey movie, it looks like it is going to production. I mean, they have a director attached to it now, so that's pretty much going to be that. And then just to add on to that, with the next bit of comic news, Batgirl is actually going to debut in the Birds of Prey movie and not in the Batgirl movie. Yeah.
Okay.
So hell yeah, we know that Margot Robbie is going to be in the Birds of Prey movie, revising her role as Harley Quinn. And I'm not sure who else they're going to have. And obviously, it's going to be a female-centric movie with it being Birds of Prey. Right. Obviously, a Batgirl is going to be in it. We don't know who's going to play her yet. Yeah, I don't know. There's a...
Yeah, that'd be a fun thing to ponder upon.
It would be.
Later.
It would be. I don't know. For some reason, Emma Stone comes to mind. I feel like she could do a really fun job with it.
Okay. She does have the appropriate hair color for that. Yeah.
Last time I saw her, it was blonde, wasn't it?
I thought she was a natural red, dude.
Maybe she is, but most times I see her,
she changes her hair color too, though. Yeah, and especially for like the makeup stuff that she'll do, just like promotion wise.
Maybe so. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, give me some. I gotta Google that now. I'm pretty confident. I'm like 80% confident she's.
I mean, you may be right. It's just I've always seen her with blonde hair. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. She changes it definitely for reasons.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Google.
Yep. Next up, the last Deadpool trailer came out just this past week, and it has taken the internet by storm. And I'm really happy and surprised that it's gotten as much love and attention as it has, especially with Infinity War being right around the corner. But this movie is doing really great things already. Like it's, I think for a certain cinema or a certain theater complex, it's already broken some kind of record for for pre-sales for like an R-rated film or something like that.
Really?
But yeah, it's already doing really good. And but yeah, this second trailer it does look to be really good, and I'm really excited about this. I guess some things about this movie that I'm still kind of scratching my head on. This one thing, like the villain. I know in the trailers they're positioning Cable to look like the antagonist. But we all know that can't be the entire movie. He's not going to be the quote-unquote bad guy for the entire thing. Black Tom Cassidy, however, we do know that he is in the movie. Oh. Yeah, so I'm not sure who's playing him, but he is in the movie. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's got to be the main antagonist.
Agreed.
Yeah. But yeah, and also big ups to Peter.
I know, I was just about to say that. I want to know who Peter's going to be.
Peter's just Peter, man.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Next up, let's see. Oh, this next thing here, I was extremely happy about because I mentioned this shit in the Homecoming podcast, and now it's coming back around.
Okay.
The Russo brothers, they say that the timeline in Spider-Man: Homecoming is incorrect. So, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they verified.
Hell
it. Yeah. Okay.
Just this past week, they verified it.
Did they say anything else?
No, not pertaining to that. They said that someone read to them the quote where they said that it was 8 years had passed, and they were like, "Yeah, that's not right." Because I remember in the Homecoming podcast, I was like, 8 years? Well, that puts us in the future, right? Like, we're not current day. And then the Russos, this week they came out and confirmed, yeah, that's incorrect.
That's a typo.
Yeah, so we are not in the future in the MCU. We're still current day.
All right, that's cool.
Yep.
Still 2018 Thanos year.
Mm-hmm. And next up, and actually last up, Kevin Feige says that a Nova movie has immediate potential.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Very much so.
Ooh. I wonder if that's kind of like a little Easter egg premonition for us. Like, ooh, what can we possibly see?
Who knows?
Yeah.
You do make a really good point. And also, concerning Nova, Kevin Feige says that Nova was also included in the first draft of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Yeah. Obviously, he wasn't in the final draft, but he was in the first draft. Yeah. So that is all we have for comic news this week.
That's a lot of damn good news.
Yeah, it's a lot of good news.
That's a lot of news.
Oh yeah. So yeah, good things are coming, big things are coming, and yeah, hopefully everything pans out for the best.
I like it.
Oh yeah. All right, Kevin, are you ready?
Yeah. As I yawn.
As you yawn into the microphones.
Hello, microphone. What's my question? What's good? Oh.
Your comic question of the week is as follows.
Who is Thanos?
That's right. The comic question is, actually, yes, it is about Thanos.
Oh, okay, that was expected.
Yeah.
It's not like you've been reading, like a month's worth of Thanos in a week or anything.
Thanos has once stated that for years he sought to avoid conflict with which character? Is it A, Adam Warlock, B, Galactus, C, the Hulk, D, Magus, or E, Odin?
Oh, okay. Odin is a tempting answer. It really is, because Thanos is a cool-ass mutated titan, but Odin is a god, And no matter what universe or quote-unquote, theory of comic book you're reading, be that our typical timeline or the Earth X possibility, he's still a god by definition. So, that's interesting. But then, of course, Galactus. Enough said just with the name, And considering he's kind of a cosmic being, it's also too easy to go with Galactus. I feel like you're setting me up to fall in the little pit trap. Like, I'm looking down at the spikes. I'm sitting there, theoretically, in this image, like, that looks like a good way to go. I'm going to go that way. I don't even need a map. I got this. So it's too easy to pick that.
I need you to remember, Kevin, that with these questions, your biggest downfall is thinking that I'm trying to trick you.
You normally always do, don't you?
That's besides the point.
Miscommunication. You know what? I know I'm not the only one out there thinking Galactus. I can't be, you know? Shit. Hit me the options again. Let me hear them, because I'm getting too hung up on 2.
Yep.
Okay.
The
Adam Warlock.
The possible answers are A, Adam Warlock, B, Galactus, C, the Hulk, D, Magus, or E, Odin. And once again, for the homies out there, I'll repeat the question. Thanos has once stated that for years he sought to avoid conflict with which character?
I mean, Hulk he threw down against, and it was not much to him at all. You know, I'm not sure if he even broke a sweat. If Thanos sweats,
He actually sweats Gatorade. Actually.
Grape flavor. I can imagine grape, or for some reason green apple. Yeah. But not strawberry. Let's go with Galactus. Let's just step into the booby trap.
Kevin, you're actually incorrect.
Why do you say actually? Why is that? Just tell me the answer.
The answer was the Hulk.
You dick. You dick.
Yep. The answer was the Hulk. Of course, he's thrown down with Adam Warlock plenty of times. Adam Warlock usually gets the upper hand, so that's why I threw him in there, because why would you want to fight a guy that's kicked your ass on a time or two? Galactus, because you were dead on, actually. Yo, I threw Galactus in there.
You son of a bitch. I'm taking 5.
Because he's Galactus. Magus, because Magus is actually potentially way stronger than Thanos.
Right.
And then Odin, because Odin has actually beaten Thanos before, and like you said, he is a god.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
But no, the Hulk is actually the one who he stated that I really don't want no part of that. So yeah, that is the comic question of the week.
You son of a bitch.
And we're back. Hope you guys are ready for some Infinity War preview.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be good times. Good times to head all around.
Let's nerd out.
Yeah.
or geek out, whichever preference you have.
Right. Whatever you want to call it.
Of course. Because I forget.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so
guys.
Where do we want to start?
Well,
I have a lot we need to say.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the thing. We have infinite possibilities.
No, you didn't. Where's this table leg at? I'm going to kick it.
First pun of the night. Check.
All right, 1 tally for you. Actually, that'd be really fun. Okay, never mind. Let's go.
Yeah, but yeah, we do have a lot of possibilities, guys, as to where we can go with this. There's so many different directions that we can take, because there's so much in these trailers to theorize with and to play with. I guess first off, we can. One thing that I really wanted to do was I guess we can go ahead and do this now, and then get into like the trailers, and like breakdowns, and then where we really want to go from there. But one thing I really want to do with you guys, first and foremost, is by the time you're listening to this, you're probably just a few days removed from Infinity War, meaning that you guys probably have Thursday night, Friday night, or Saturday night tickets, and
hopefully.
And for all you guys out there who maybe want more information, I don't know, just to feel a little bit more, not prepared, but I guess if you want to learn a little bit more about Thanos, then there's a couple of things that we'd advise you guys to do. First and foremost, you can go back and listen to our Thanos podcast.
Very true. We have done that one. How long ago was that?
That's like back in December, I think.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Either way, it should be on the list, or if you keep scrolling down the Facebook page, you'll definitely see it there too.
Yep. So yeah, if you subscribe to us on iTunes like you should be, then it is definitely there.
That's a hint.
Or Google Play or Stitcher or whichever
ones.
Yeah.
We have a few.
Yeah.
We just look at iTunes and Google Play the most.
But also, guys, I just want to really quick give you guys some reading material, some homework for those of you who are interested in that extra credit.
Okay.
There's a few things that I would definitely recommend if you guys wanted to learn more on your own accord. Of course, the first one that comes to mind is Infinity Gauntlet. That's what the movie Infinity War is going to be mostly based off of.
Yeah. Don't be confused by the title.
Yeah, don't be confused by the title. There is a graphic novel also called Infinity War, which is like a spiritual successor to Infinity Gauntlet. However, the two really aren't that similar in nature. So yeah, don't be quite confused. Infinity War is still a really good read, but it won't really prepare you that much for Infinity War the movie.
Right.
Infinity Gauntlet, however, really I think is going to be the number one that you should read if you really want to learn more about what you can potentially expect in the movie. Of course, it deals with Thanos. He has all the gems, and he's getting ready to wreck shit. And Earth's mightiest heroes, and even some villains like Doctor Doom, come together to try to stop him. And shit goes down, man. Even all the cosmic entities come together to try to stop him. It's a really great read. I know a lot of people are really off-put by a lot of older comics. This one coming out like the early 90s. However, Jim Starlin knows what he's doing. That man is an amazing writer, and trust me, I just read it again recently, and it still holds up really well. Another good one that you guys should read.
Yeah, please do, man. I mean, you're the guy who has been reading this a lot more than anybody else I know for like the past week. So yeah,
I would also recommend Silver Surfer: Rebirth of Thanos. This is actually a collection of different comics now. It actually collects Silver Surfer, I think, issues like 32 through 34. And then it also collects Thanos Quest as well, which is a really good read. And the first half of the book, it really deals with Silver Surfer and his relationship with Thanos. First meeting Thanos and realizing what he's all about. It really gives us a sense of Thanos and his nihilism and where that comes from and why Thanos wants to do what he does. Mm-hmm. He gives like some twisted yet somehow logical explanations for what he wants to do with the universe. And it's really intriguing to see that side of Thanos and why he wants to do the things that he wants to do. And in the second half of that book, which is Thanos Quest, that is another amazing read by Jim Starlin. And it's when Thanos is going around collecting the Infinity Gems. So we get to see where he gets them from and what he does with them. And it's just a really, really fun read to see him collect them.
Cool.
One of the greatest things about that, however, is really getting to see how Thanos likes to work. Like, he's such an intellectual. And as he's collecting these gems, like, I dare say he uses his mind and his intellect, maybe even more so than his strength and his physical attributes. And so it's definitely really fun to see him go around the universe collecting these different gems and even telling the story of how the gems came about and him being the first person to actually name these gems because he knows more about them than anyone else in the universe. So it's definitely a really good read. And it's actually in that where he mentions the line about he not wanting to confront the Hulk if need be.
Oh, okay. I got you.
He actually got the power gem from a guy called Champion. And he said something along the lines of this Champion guy, he seems to get stronger the angrier he gets, like the Earth's Hulk, which is a guy that I really don't want to mess with.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And but yeah, it's really cool seeing him go around collecting these other gems. And
all right.
Thanos Imperative is more of a Guardian story, but it's really fun to see how the Guardians interact with Thanos. And of course, if you want to know more about Drax's history with Thanos and like the current Marvel comic timeline, then definitely read Annihilation. That'll definitely catch you up to speed as far as their relationship goes. And as far as the Black Order goes, because I know a lot of people really want to know a lot more about the Black Order. Definitely read Infinity. It's just called Infinity. I know it can it can be confusing since there's Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, Infinity Crusade, Infinity Aftermath. Like there's a shitload of Infinity titles. But Infinity is the one that definitely covers the Black Order to the deepest and best extent. Be forewarned, if you choose to read Infinity, unless you've read Jonathan Hickman's run on New Avengers and Avengers, it's going to be very confusing because there's two concurrent storylines going on at the same time. And one is extremely intriguing. It's about Thanos wanting to kill his children. And the other, it's not that good to me, honestly. Like the main storyline there is just, it's okay.
Okay.
You know, the art looks great. Cool. But yeah, if you really want to learn more about the Black Order, then that's definitely the book to read, Infinity.
Okay. Yeah. Let's move on to the preview. Or is there another book? You good?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. Yeah. Which ones were those again? Could you repeat the titles for us?
Sure. Yeah. Read Infinity Gauntlet, Silver Surfer, Rebirth of Thanos, Thanos Imperative, Annihilation, and Infinity.
Cool. Thank you. Okay. All right. I don't have enough time to borrow all those from you. All right.
Do some power reading.
Oh my gosh. Well, if I only had to sleep 3 hours a night, then I'd be confident in doing that. You know,
just take some Adderall. That's what all the cool kids are doing.
Nope.
Come on, it's basically just like speed. You'll be fine.
No.
Oh shit!
And that's how Kevin got effed up. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what part of this first do we want to dissect? There is a lot we want to talk about, obviously. Which direction do we want to start tackling this? I mean, we could start with basic facts or anything, man, at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess let's, you want to start off with the end of Ragnarok? Go from there?
Okay. I have not thought about that angle too much, but let's do that.
Yeah. The reason that angle came to mind is because I'd imagine that's probably where the movie may pick up at.
Possibly, yeah. I could see that scene definitely being a part of the opening act, definitely. We'll see, definitely, though, you know, in just a few days.
Yeah.
So, if you guys don't recall that, or for some reason, if you don't recall our more recent podcast where we even spoke about this, we see Chris Hemsworth, aka Thor, along with the Asgardians, the entire city of Asgardians, all pile up on this big-ass ship and sail away into the space. Well, while they do that, they run into an even bigger ship out in the middle of space. And we don't know who the other ship is. We're pretty damn sure it's the Black Order ship with possibly Thanos right up in there saying, hey, look, what's that tiny ship right coming to me now? But we're going to find out a lot more, obviously.
Right. Like, yeah. I'm fairly certain that's got to be the Sanctuary 3. That's Thanos' main ship, his main spaceship. Mm-hmm. And I'm also fairly certain that he has the Black Order with him on that ship.
Right.
I mean, just from the trailers, you know, we see Thanos and also the Black Order we see the Black Order confronting Loki, and Loki has the Tesseract in hand, and also we see
Thanos crushing the Tesseract, which is a huge power play.
We see
this artifact that was so damn important in the first movie, all of a sudden a glass square, just nothing.
We also see it looks like he crushes the Tesseract or the Cosmic Cube with this left hand, and in his right hand he has Thor by the back of the head, and Thor is like kneeling on the ground because what's he gonna do? And
this is when he tells him, "Get your act together, Thor. You're not a comedian."
But yeah, it's really interesting to see what happens here. Like, what I'm theorizing, once again, guys, this isn't any kind of fact, and it probably won't even happen. But what I'm theorizing is what's happening here is that Thanos is telling Loki, look, you give me the cube and I'll spare your brother's life and I'll spare the Asgardians. If you don't, I'll kill you all.
Okay, that's an easy theory to come to. I can see that one.
Yeah, but what I think happens is that obviously Loki gives the Tesseract, or maybe he doesn't give it, but it looks like he does hand it to someone. We see him extending the Tesseract in another scene. So I think it's a good possibility that he either gives it to the Black Order or to Thanos. It doesn't matter. It ends up in Thanos' hand. And at that point, I think it's where maybe a member of the Black Order kills Loki.
Maybe.
Which causes Thor to scream in agony. Because that's the scene that I've watched a couple times when we see Thor let out like this howling scream. And at first you can assume it's because maybe Thanos is crushing his head, but Thanos is actually not applying like any kind of pressure. He's just holding him there. And so maybe Thor was forced to watch his brother die, and that can lead to like a resurgence of Thor's anger. it's also fair to assume from this scene that maybe I don't know. I'm trying to think about how Bruce Banner gets to Earth because it has to happen here.
It does. And we talked about that in a little bit too. I'm going to go ahead and introduce that one. So I'm going to use that as a segue in a second here. But in the end of Ragnarok, we also understand that the Hulk, not Bruce Banner, but the Hulk, is with the Asgardians and with Thor on their tiny ship. So as they're being intercepted by the Black Order, something must happen to where the Hulk all of a sudden somehow gets away, and because he's a big green ass, he gets to fly through space and survive. And we see him in one of the trailers crash in a meteor landing site where he was the meteor. And then immediately in the next scene of the trailer, we're looking at Doctor Strange and Wong looking down on Bruce Banner. So in other words, we theorize that he crashed into the New York Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is also a scene that's taken directly from Infinity Gauntlet. I was talking to Kevin about this before the podcast. Right. Yeah. And in the Infinity Gauntlet story is Silver Surfer who first approaches Thanos with Infinity Gauntlet, and Silver Surfer gets his ass kicked. And he goes down to Earth and he lands in the Sanctorium in a very similar position as to where we see Bruce Banner in. And
he even showed me the comic.
Yeah. And then there's Doctor Strange and Wong looking down at Silver Surfer in the comics.
Yeah.
And then it's when Silver Surfer says that, look, there's this great threat that everyone needs to know about. And so maybe that's going to be Bruce Banner's role here.
Yeah. Definitely so. I mean, it totally makes sense because later on in the trailers, we see Bruce Banner taking other roles too, but still in the same sense, still in the same, like, the announcer of the danger. He's being the writer saying, hey, it's not the British coming this time, it's the big purple man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can also see Hulk trying to attack Thanos maybe at the very beginning of the movie.
Oh, easily.
And then Thanos just throwing his ass aside into space.
That's why he's flying through.
Yeah.
Becoming the big green meteor.
Right. Now, another interesting note is that he could try to attack a member of the Black Order and then they send his ass sailing.
That would be interesting. That would give a little precedence to the Black Order. That would be a great way to introduce them.
Absolutely. I mean, in the Infinity comic, he does try to fight the Black Order, and in Proxima Midnight takes his ass down. She
beat Nora.
Yeah, Proxima beats the Hulk so bad that he reverts back to Bruce Banner. Yeah, it's pretty intense. Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah,
so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, so I mean I think that's a strong possibility of how this movie could potentially open. That'd be a big opener.
That'd be a huge opener.
Yeah.
In fact, that'd be the opener I would like to see for a couple of reasons. One, that's super serious. That's literally like a slap to waking up the audience saying, hey, this isn't going to be a little Disney ride, okay? This isn't your teacup ride, all right? This is going to be a damn roller coaster, so get ready for it.
Right.
So no comedy bullshit this time, except when necessary.
Except when appropriate.
Yeah. But at the same time, I'm kind of hoping we didn't just write the beginning of the movie successfully. Because then it's like, well, I guess I'm just watching the scene to see how everyone did.
I mean, yes and no. I think that as long as it's good storytelling, I really don't care.
But that's the thing. I like being surprised. I don't like guessing the ending myself and saying, hey, oh, okay, well,
I think there's a difference between guessing the opening and then guessing the ending.
Okay, in this case, guessing the opening and then still saying, damn it. Yeah, I like being surprised. That's the difference between us here a little bit. Of course, I do care about how they pull it off and whether or not it's going to be like, wait, never mind. Hulk made a cheesy face here. What the hell? But, little things like that.
Yeah, no, I guess it wouldn't bother me because in my scenario, the way I look at it, this is the best case scenario for the opening.
Maybe as far as we can depict,
as far as we can think of. Yeah. Right. I mean, if they do something different that's better, then that'd be great.
Cool.
If this is what they actually do, then that's also great. I really don't care.
So real quick, let's talk about that actually, because I already kind of peeled the Band-Aid a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about the rest of the issue. So earlier, just off mic during the week, I remember us conversing and talking about whether or not this movie again was going to be too funny, quote unquote. Like,
I don't think so. Just because if you look at the Russos' 2 other movies in the MCU, they haven't been laced with comedy.
Right.
Like they've sprinkled comedy throughout their movies. Civil War and Winter Soldier is what we're referring to.
Yeah.
But they haven't really overlaid in their movies with a comedic undertone.
Sure. No, they have the movies with the best tonnage so far, like Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Most appropriate tone.
Exactly. Okay.
Like James Gunn does a good job with Guardians. I'll give him that.
Right.
So.
Okay. That being said, though, I thought I remember you having a comment about someone quoting that, oh, this movie is gonna be super funny or something like that.
No, they
that
said
might be
something,
my memory failing.
Yeah, they said something along the lines of this movie is gonna have more humor. Yeah, so I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means that it's gonna have more humor than Winter Soldier and Civil War. I don't know if that means it's gonna have more humor than Ragnarok or Guardians. I don't know what they're comparing it to. But yeah, like I said, at this point, I don't think anyone has seen any of the advanced screenings.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, like we said earlier, the advanced screenings won't even be up till tomorrow. Yeah. So
I'm just really hoping they don't turn this into a stand-up special. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the tone has got to be right.
Yeah.
On one hand, I think that the Russos are the best guys for the job for this movie. On the other hand, I can also see a lot of pressure, maybe even from the people above Kevin Feige, saying that, hey, make this movie, something that everyone...
Disney appropriate.
Or something that everybody can thoroughly enjoy. And who knows, maybe killing off Loki in the first 5 minutes wouldn't be what they want, but I think that'd be the best approach, but who knows?
Yeah. Honestly, I do kind of agree with that, because where else do we see Loki at all in the trailers?
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, we don't see him interacting with the Guardians later on. I mean, your theory bends in perfectly damn well, So, in fact, give me a second. I had a blank line I wrote here on my note page, people. It literally says death toll, bets. I'm going to put Loki down as one of the bets, guaranteed. Cool. It's done.
Yep.
4 letters written.
Yep.
I got space for a few more names.
All right.
We're going to talk about that, obviously.
Yeah. Now,
who's going to die? All right.
What's also interesting is that we don't see anything in the trailers about Thanos going to like the Nova Corps, but I think obviously he kind of has to because he does get the power gem
somehow. So maybe that's kind of the direction he goes after.
Yeah.
Thor and his people.
Right.
Yeah. Potentially.
Yeah. And then he also has to go see the Collector. And I do know for a fact that he goes to see the Collector.
Yeah.
And the Guardians also get there a little too late. And I mean, I don't know how it all pans out, but somehow
not well.
Yeah, not well. Especially not for the Collector.
No. Honestly, it would make more sense just cinematically and on a timeline basis for him to go to those places before coming to Earth rather than Earth, and then while I'm beating your ass in, I gotta go back to the Collector real quick. So give me 5.
All right. Yeah,
So
I definitely think he's got to handle all the space affairs and then come to Earth for the rest of the movie.
I see that being very like mid-act 1 type stuff. Yeah,
and I think that it's when he's collecting maybe these other 2 gems that maybe Banner is warning everybody else about this impending doom.
Exactly. Like that's the Earth segment going on, while the space segment is still trying to get together. Yeah.
Because, obviously, we can tell by Tony's dialogue in the trailers that he knows Thanos is coming, and they're trying to prepare for his, his coming.
We also see Tony in the trailers in the Sanctum with Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
we do see that. So in other words, there is a quick communication coming along, like, oh, hey, Tony, what's going on? This is Stephen Strange. I don't know why he's using a cell phone.
Or this is Bruce Banner contacting Iron Man, because I don't know why Doctor Strange.
Oh no, I could see him being like the daycare owner here, like, I have one of your friends here. He crash landed through my roof, which I'm pretty sure you could pay for. But you need to come pick up your friend. Yeah, I don't know. That's just what came to mind first. But no, I'm pretty sure that is going to be the crossing paths finally of Tony Stark and Doctor Strange.
Right.
Yeah. With Hulk and Wong.
Yeah.
A lot of chess pieces in this game, people.
Yeah, I think that I don't know how long Tony's been working on something, but obviously he has new armor that he wants to use.
True, we got to see that.
Right. In Iron Man 3, he mentions Bleeding Edge. And, I mean, we kind of sort of not really get it. But it looks like in this movie, we get the full-on Bleeding Edge armor. So, hell yeah for that. And for those of you who maybe don't know, the Bleeding Edge armor is definitely some of the best armor that Iron Man has ever used. It's all thought-provoked, similar to the armor in Iron Man 3, but it is he also inserts like an extremist type of extremist virus in his body at one point that allows it to kind of meld to his skin, similar to how it appears in the comics. I mean, in the trailer here for the movie. Yeah. So maybe he does something similar to that, but he does come up with some kind of armor that looks to be some of his best and looks to be more in tune with like his actual personage versus a machine that he operates.
Which is cool because we needed to see Tony's technology hit that point like it has in the comics, you know?
Yeah, and I think more importantly, we had to see him hit an upgrade in order to stand a feasible chance, you know?
Right, yeah. Especially if your Iron Man 3 suits were butter to freaking Killian. I mean, what chance do you stand against this dude? You might as well be ice in a microwave or something.
Yeah. That's true.
Trying to think of a good image there.
I was like, ice in a microwave. That's an interesting one. But yeah, so let's hop over to Wakanda for a second.
Yeah, let's do. There's a lot of shit going on.
There is.
Yeah. First off, we do see Shuri again, so a lot of fan favorite out there, I'm sure.
Yeah, me included. But yeah, we see Shuri, and at this point, seeing as how Black Panther apparently does take place in 2016, there's been a couple years now for Wakanda to kind of interrogate with the world. Yeah, with the rest of the world.
Right. We do hear a quote actually from his bodyguard regarding that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, she said something like
when you said integrate with the world, this isn't what I imagined. I thought maybe the Olympics are Starbucks. Yeah. Could you imagine a Wakandan Starbucks?
That could be amazing.
It kind of could. But I'm not a big coffee guy, so it's like, can I have a Wakandan lemonade?
On a slightly off political note, I guess it's a good thing that Starbucks is taking those racial training classes now then.
Hooray!
Yep. Starbucks is going to be a little bit nicer to black people if they go to Wakanda.
Yeah. So. Well, recent events and all that.
Yep.
So, hey, How to quickly steer back into the subject awkwardly.
Oh, shit. One scene that, because we're going to kind of hop back and forth here because we don't really know like the chronological happenings in the movie.
No.
But one scene that I really love was the Yimba scene when the Wakandans are... Yeah, and they're all saying the chant.
I tried to spell that in my book here. Yeah. But I just basically wrote out the pronunciation version of it and not the word.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the Imam chant, which essentially translates to hold the fort or like stay your ground.
Yeah, I do remember you saying that actually. Yeah, cool.
And now what this does remind me of, it reminds me of a really cool scene in the Infinity comic, and it's when Wakanda is being invaded by a member of the Black Order. Black Dwarf is the one that comes down and invades. Black Dwarf.
Is he short?
No, it's Black Dwarf like the exploding star.
Oh, okay. I just imagined like this short person in like a black cloak. Like,
no,
I'm coming for you.
He is actually by far the biggest member of the Black Order. He's bigger than Thanos actually. He's quite huge. He has unbreakable skin, even more so than Luke Cage. I don't know how you get even more unbreakable, but you do.
The Judas bullet from the Luke Cage Netflix series bounces off of him.
Pretty much. He also, of course, has extremely stupid super strength. But he comes down to attack Wakanda with an army of Outriders, which we see them in the trailer also in Wakanda. The Outriders are like those ugly-looking alien creatures with 4 arms.
Right. We see them.
Yeah. They look really good in the movies here. So I'm really glad that they're in the movies looking good. But what's cool though is that in Infinity, as Black Dwarf, he tries to assault Wakanda Fortunately, the armies of Wakanda, they're already ready for a war, but with Namor, not with these guys. But so the armies are already prepared, right. to fight.
Yeah.
And then they see this threat come down, like, okay. And one of my favorite scenes ever from a comic panel happens in this moment right here is when Black Dwarf, he comes out and he goes, I seek a king, or a strong warrior. Will one come forth, or will I have to go find him myself? And then, of course,
that's a cool line.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, of course, T'Challa steps forth, in this full Black Panther garb, and he goes, I'm the one you seek. My name is Black Panther, King of the Dead, and you will soon be one of my followers. And it was such a cool line.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Smack talking on royal levels.
And then after that, he proceeds to break his arm. He proceeds to break Black Dwarf's arm, and then sends him running away. Sends him and his army fleeing back into space.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
okay.
It was a really cool moment because Black Panther was the only one that successfully defended against the Black Order.
Okay.
The other members of the Black Order attacked Namor. Namor gave up. They attacked the X-Men and had their way with them.
I imagine so.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Not to insult, good old Xavier or Wolverine or nothing, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, luckily, we already know those two fronts are non-existent here. But it does appear that our fan favorites and our big armies in Wakanda, our good friends over there, are successfully fending off these people. I hope it's not so quick as to break his arm and he goes yipping away like a little dog or something. But
unfortunately, it was a little bit,
a little bit more badass.
Yeah.
Thank you. Give me something for my money, please. All right, but cool. You're right about that. And we do see a lot of characters popping back up from the endings of other movies coming into play here. For instance, Winter Soldier, a.k.a. White Wolf.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, calling him the White Wolf here.
Yeah.
Which we spoke about that a little bit last week.
Right.
Yeah, and curious to see where they go with that, with the whole White Wolf arc. Seeing that White Wolf is a character in Black Panther lore.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. It's curious because in the casting roles, if you look on either IMDb or Google or whatever your sources are normally to look up movie facts, he is being casted right now, Sebastian Stan, as Winter Soldier, as always, but also, subsequently, as White Wolf. Like, they already verified it on the listings.
Yeah.
So, that's why I went ahead and just pulled the trigger.
Right.
He's the White Wolf. Yeah. He's Geralt. I'm a Witcher fan.
Yeah. Damn it, Kevin.
Don't you damn it, Kevin me.
But,
all right, what's up?
No, I do think it's interesting that they're giving him this title of White Wolf. I don't know if they're trying to imply like a stronger bond between T'Challa and Bucky.
Maybe. I mean, you did say Black Panther is 2 years ago, timeline wise, right? So, I mean, 2 years is enough time to build a friendship.
We also don't know how long he's been in cryo sleep.
True. Well, at the end of BP, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Why am I saying that? Black Panther.
Right.
He was awake.
Yeah.
He looked like one-armed Jesus.
Yeah. But that we can assume also could have been in more current day. We don't know when that took place.
True. They didn't give us a subtitle at the bottom that said 2018 or anything. Yeah. We just saw him and Shuri interacting. Yeah. Right. But
But yeah, so it's just really interesting because like we discussed last week, White Wolf, and I forget his real name, like his more kick-ass name is White Wolf, but the White Wolf is was actually adopted by King T'Challa, so he's like the adopted brother of T'Challa.
Okay. But, well, that's unfortunately not the case here.
Yeah. So the White Wolf is an actual character, but. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
I mean, that also is a weird implication all at the same time. They have to change it because Winter Soldier technically kind of is the indirect reason T'Challa's father is passed.
Well, kind of.
Kind of, yeah, but...
I mean, he's just the scapegoat.
There it is. Thank you, the scapegoat. No, it was our favorite villain who was actually, the actual direct reason.
Right.
Okay, so never mind. So White Wolf could still potentially work in the same manner. We'll find out.
there's a lot that happens in Wakanda. We can tell from the trailers.
Oh, tons of it. I mean, Captain America gets a badass shield.
Captain America
gets... It's like a pointy-looking thing.
Yeah. Now, I may have seen incorrectly, but did he have like one on each arm?
I thought so, actually. Yeah. You're not alone in thinking that. I thought... I saw it on one trailer, definitely here, where he like gets the pointy bit and then like the sub pointy bits coming out, and it's like, oh, that's so cool. He's gonna punch someone's shit. Punch,
and he does.
Captain Punch. Instead of other punches, but yeah.
There was a TV, not really a trailer. It was like I think it was like 25-second TV spot.
Okay.
That was released. And maybe I shouldn't have watched it, but damn it, I did, and I loved it. It was a few of the Avengers. It was Black Widow, Falcon, and Captain America fighting Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight.
Dadgummit, Q. I'm glad I haven't seen this. So
it was so good. It was really entertaining.
Cool. Okay.
But I mean, we do know that they fight, even without seeing the TV spot. From the first trailer, we see Captain America catch what looks like Proxima Midnight's spear.
Okay.
And but yeah, just so we know that fight happens.
I think I saw the beginning of that just now, actually. Yeah. So yeah. Okay.
How that fight turns out, we don't know. We can assume it turns out for the best, at least for Captain America, because he makes it out into the woods and encounters Thanos.
True.
Yeah. Now, how that goes for Captain America...
I was about to say, at that point, I might have a second name for my bet list here. Cap America.
Would they dare kill Captain America before the end of the movie? Unless this movie ends in Wakanda, which I guess it could.
Oh. Maybe. Think about it. In most of the trailer... Yeah, no, in all the trailers, we don't see our boy Thanos with the time gem. So in other words, we could have a death time reversal.
I don't want to see that. That'd be such bullshit.
It really would be,
yeah.
But I'm just throwing it out there, just like a wrench in the question.
That, and I'm not gonna lie, that's been like a subconscious fear of mine.
Well, wait. Let me put your fear to rest. Remember, this is Wakanda. Our boy Doctor Strange is over in Daggum, New York.
He can still reverse time.
No, come on. He can't reverse the time for the instance where he's like, I think Captain America just died. Now? Yeah, now. And just do it worldwide. I mean...
like, he could be later on. Like, maybe after... I'm going to, I guess, kind of preemptively spoil what I think's going to happen at the end of the movie. I was going to talk about this a little bit later. But... Like, because I think the movie ends with Thanos snapping his fingers and killing half the universe. That's what I think happens. But
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's how the movie ends. And you know what? I'm going to hate myself for saying this, but I also think that if they end the movie this way, they should not give us any post-credit scenes. I think that's the best way to go.
It really is. I don't think you're right about that, though. I think at that point we'll get the snap. The credits will start rolling, and then the end credit scene is going to be like the who's left type thing. Like we see people rising from the ashes.
Right.
Not in the sense of they're dead, but more in the sense of like, what the shit just happened? Kind of like reassessing everything type thing. That I can imagine it, but at the same time, a part of me also wants us to be wrong. I don't want it to be that stupid bullshit storybook ending where it's like, oh, everyone got like a trifecta attack on good old Thanos and one good uppercut put him down to the ground. Like, no, don't give me that bullshit either, all right? I'd rather have Doctor Strange reverse time than that bullshit, all right?
Yeah.
But
both of those would be pretty bad in my book.
No, they'd be horrible. Yeah. At that point, it's like, I literally want just like a the end and then like a storybook closing type shit. Right. Where it's like, oh, thanks, you might as well have read me Winnie the Daggum Pooh at the bedside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't give me that.
Oh, man.
I want tragedy.
As dark as that sounds, that's true because that's kind of what we need here.
Right. I mean, this is the biggest event. We've been building up to this for how many years now?
Since 2012. So that's when we first see Thanos.
Well, I mean, Yeah, okay. In that sense, true. But I was also thinking in the sense of like when they first made the Marvel movie, saying, "Hey, there's going to be a lot more branching off of this one."
2008.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
10 years.
10 daggum years we've been building this, okay? People want out of their contracts. Give them a good write-out, okay? Let their character pass away in a cool way. You know?
Let it mean something. I will say this. If Captain America does die, it has to be like his scene in the Infinity Gauntlet story, which was one of my favorite moments for Captain America.
Oh shit! Yeah. I'm almost scared to have you say it because it's like I don't want to hear it either.
Well, I'm saying it.
No.
I think I actually mentioned this before, though.
Oh yeah. Okay. In that case, I'll spoil it real quick. It's where everyone else is lying dead, but then he stands back up, and Thanos is like, "Oh, you're still up. Why are you even trying?" You know?
Yeah. It's a really cool encounter between those two.
Because, I'm sure you remember it way better than I do, but yeah.
Yeah, Thanos, he brutally kills. I mean, it's brutal how he kills. Like, Iron Man is decapitated. He
off the cannon.
Yeah, I think he also, I don't think he breaks Mjolnir, but he does something with Mjolnir. He kills Thor, he kills Hulk, turns Wolverine into rubber and kills him. He kills Doctor Doom. Like everyone is just dead, and the only one that's left alive is I remember Quasar. Like Quasar has like the power bands that he uses to shoot his energy beams. Thanos like disintegrated his hands and then killed him. Oh, it was so brutal. But yeah, Captain America stands up, picks up the shield, and then like Jim Starlin does a great job. It's like we see like three different panels of Captain America walking towards Thanos, and Thanos just standing there, almost looking amused, and then Captain America looking up at him, and then they have like a really cool exchange. I wish I remember exactly what they said because it was really cool. But essentially, Captain America saying, as long as there's life in my body, I won't let you succeed, and Thanos saying, well, you got a lot of. I guess a lot of heart. He didn't use that word,
right? Can't imagine Thanos saying that as a compliment,
right? Yeah, implying that that Captain America had obviously a lot of gumption about him, and Captain America goes, I lived my whole life based on basically trying my best every time, and they have one last exchange. They have one last fight, and it's so cool to see because at this point, like if this panel in Infinity Gauntlet doesn't make you a fan of Captain America, then nothing will. Because Captain America knows that he doesn't stand a chance, but he tries his damnedest anyway. And Thanos is using all kinds of tricks with the Infinity Gauntlet. Like he causes stone hands to come up from the ground and hold Captain America's feet so Cap can't move. Thanos comes down with the punch. Captain blocks the punch with his shield. And it's just a really fun exchange here. But ultimately, he does not win.
Noble sentiments from one who is about to die.
That's it. Yeah, I live my life based off those sentiments.
Yep, that's the next line.
Yep.
Shit. That's one of the older comics. That's probably from the actual Infinity Gauntlet itself, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, while you were saying things, I was looking up things.
Damn it, Kevin, I need you here.
What? You said something? Alright, man. Where to next?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if that's how Captain America meets his end, but if he does meet his end, it
has to be something equally or more symbolic, or heavy is a better word. Yeah. It needs to be deserving.
So we talked a little bit about how Thanos maybe gets some of these gems. So obviously I know for a fact he goes to visit the Collector and gets the reality gem. We don't know anything about how he gets the power gem.
Power?
No, he gets the reality gem from the Collector. The ether is the reality.
One. Right. Okay. So he goes and grabs that one. Power. Yeah. There's somehow had to be some interface between him and the Nova Corps.
Yeah.
And that's how he was able to just jack it from them.
Right.
Easily. Potentially showing us Nova.
Yep.
And then. But wait, no. Okay. So I'm trying to think about what order he got these in.
Because
for the trailers we see purple and blue.
Yeah, we see space and power, and it looks like he's on Earth. Yeah, space and power. It looks like he's on Earth also when he puts those in. But maybe that's just tricky editing to make us think that.
Exactly. Yeah. Which thank you, Marvel, for taking time to do that, because I don't want to know half the movie before I go into the movie. As ironic as that sounds for tonight's podcast and our conversation. Damn it.
Yeah.
I want to be tricked.
Yeah, I think it would be hilarious if everything we says comes to fruition.
I'm going to be a little pissed then. I'm going to vote that we just don't do these types anymore and only do movie reviews.
I will do them by myself.
No, you bastard. Don't you dare. All right.
But let's see. Yeah, so I'm not sure how he gets those.
Yeah.
Because thankfully they don't give us anything on that in the trailers.
Do you think, let's theorize real quick together, do you think we'll actually see Thanos in the movie with all the gems? Especially if he does the snap ending like you're thinking.
I think for him to do that, I think he would have to have all of them.
I hope he does.
Yeah.
I want to see full power embodiment of a villain here. You know?
Right.
I want Thanos to be the best Marvel villain,
Yeah.
We need him to be up there.
Right.
Okay?
They haven't come out and declared that Avengers 4 is a sequel, but I think it has to be, don't you?
Yeah.
It seems that it comes out next year. I mean, that's a small gap between Avengers movies.
At this point, I bet you right now that they've already filmed it.
Oh, yeah. We know for a fact that Avengers 4 has been filmed. It was filmed concurrently with this. And then I think also the Captain Marvel movie was also filmed concurrently with Avengers 4.
Well, in that case, that already says it to me right there, man.
Yeah, I think that Kara Danvers is definitely in Avengers 4.
Yup.
As far as Avengers 3 goes, I think that she falls under the category of special cameos.
Yeah, I believe that. That makes sense.
I mean, because...
Maybe even Nova at that point, too?
Yeah.
Not forgetting about him?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
See, my theory about Nova was that maybe... I think that maybe he does just completely destroy the Nova Corps and Xandar. He just blows up the whole planet. And then I think that's where we get the birth of Richard Rider as the Nova. Because essentially for most of the current Marvel history, as far as the comics goes, Richard Rider is the result of the rest of the corps being destroyed. And Nova is the one who has to pretty much carry the Nova brand.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, especially if they take that much from the comics, then hell yeah. And it's easy at this point to take from the comics.
It'd be easy.
It would make canonical sense with the movies canon. So, yeah.
Right.
Cool. Thanks for spoiling shit. It's like 1 second I'm like, oh yeah, that's a really good theory, you bastard. This is when a rare bipolar Kevin comes out. You're a good friend, you bitch. Shit. Don't quote me on that. You're not a bitch.
You're like a Sour Patch Kid.
Like reverse. Like I'm sweet then sour.
Right. Yeah. Oh shit.
I
Anyways,
almost bought those for our Saturday get together, but I didn't want that much sugar. Anyways.
But who knows? Maybe the movie ends with him just collecting all the gems. But I think then it'd just be so satisfying in the movie with him snapping his fingers.
It really would be, because then we get to see the actual embodiment of the power, not just him standing there flashing all the gems like big old fat Super Bowl rings or something. Instead, we actually get to see him use the shit. This completely unfathomable power that we couldn't even comprehend how to fully use to its best extent. Instead, I want to actually see him just be like, hey, guess what? Well, I know how to use these. I've been studying this shit. I know how to use them to their best. And guess what? You're the target.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So can I fanboy out for a second and give an off the wall theory that I have no credence behind?
Maybe. Yes.
Everyone's gonna have nothing backing up this theory, people. So there's like 0% chance of this happening. But it'd be cool if it did.
Okay.
So I think it would be awesome if like sometime throughout the movie, one of the Guardians, maybe I think Star-Lord has to stay on Earth, but maybe I don't know, Gamora. I think Drax also should stay for the fight, but maybe one of the Guardians, maybe Rocket, that would be most appropriate, all things considered. Gets an idea and goes, you know what, or I gotta go, and then he leaves the fight, leaves Earth, and then we don't see him, and then we don't know what he does. But maybe for a post-credit scene, we see Rocket arrive on the planet of the Sovereign, and he approaches Aisha and goes, "We need a plan." and then at that point, Aisha reluctantly agrees and opens the cocoon. I think that would be awesome.
That would be super cool. I'm wondering how well received they're going to be. If you guys don't remember, Aisha was the really golden woman from the really golden people planet, aka Sovereign, where the Guardians and Guardians 2 screwed him over for a couple of batteries.
Yep.
Yeah. They're powerful ass batteries, though. They're not Duracells, okay?
No.
But
No.
that's a quick summary of what we're talking about for those of you scratching your heads. If it is the Guardians, they need to take along a witness who's non-Guardian.
Well, I think at this point, maybe the Sovereign knows that impending doom is... I think it's very possible that the universe as a whole knows that shit is hit the fan.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, just hearing that, oh shit, the Nova Corps has been destroyed, the Collector's base has been raided, shit's happening on Earth. Yeah,
I mean, those could be witnesses at the same time, but remembering who the Sovereign wore in Guardians 2, unless they go through a personality change, I'm pretty sure they're still going to want some Guardian heads on pikes.
Maybe so. Aisha looked pretty humbled at the end of Guardians 2.
She did. She went from being all dolled up and too prissy to walk on daggum snow to hair everywhere saying Adam at the end of her credits, so... we'll see.
Right.
But
just because I was thinking, in the long run, like, you don't have Mar-Vell, and even if you did, Mar-Vell never beat Thanos with a fully powered Infinity Gauntlet. As cool as Mar-Vell is, he never did that, never had to worry about that problem. But I was thinking, like, who do you have that can defeat Thanos? Like, I mean, you do. I feel like you almost do need Adam Warlock.
What if... This doesn't make a lot of sense, but help me piece it together so it does. What if Nova actually went to go get Adam? I'm trying to piece that together. Because it makes sense, because Nova would be the one who said, look, my people were annihilated.
Right.
They don't exist. I am the last surviving member of the Corps, all right? Please give me Adam Warlock. And Sovereign listening to him being like, okay, cool. We see that he's on planet Earth, thus giving them both, he and Just Awoken Adam, a direction to go. Like, I can see that happening, because I don't see Sovereign just being like, you know what, we're going to turn our biggest, baddest weapon over to the Guardians who screwed us over last time. Like, that could be a bridge, a cool one, but nonetheless, just a little...
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I don't know how closely they plan on using Adam, like, as far as, like, this comic counterpart.
Also true. That could be more like an Avengers 4 type thing, yeah.
And, but, no, I mean, there's a lot of cool possibilities, though.
There's...
Yeah, like, it'd be cool if we saw some hint of Nova. I think that's a possibility.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a possibility that we see more with Adam.
Hell yeah. If I'm betting you right now, he's going to be, like, end movie credit scene type stuff. You're like...
Yeah. I think he's got to be.
Oh, yeah.
Because
that's a big reveal.
That's a huge reveal.
And a distracting one if you do it mid-movie.
Very distracting, because at that point, you're either wondering who the hell is this golden guy, or you're wondering when the hell is Adam Warlock going to show up to wreck shit.
Exactly, yeah. So if they do show it mid-movie, like they did for the introduction of Thanos in the middle of Guardians 1, it would have to be subtly done, well done, to where it's not distracting from the actual rest of your movie's plot.
I think that you have to save it for post-credits.
Oh, yeah, because that's huge.
Yeah.
Comic nerds like us know he's the beginning to the end of Thanos, you know? Yeah. So you can't show him off mid-movie and expect us to really believe that there's going to be a second movie building up to this.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
Not unless you do it so damn well that we can't even predict it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is another possibility, but that's...
Always.
That's the thing, like, I mean, as intelligent as Kevin Feige and as great as the Russos are, unfortunately, you really can't stop, like, the theorizing nerd boys like ourselves.
You can't stop us from reading the source materials of your movies either,
Yeah,
we're not allowed to go to the script reading, but we are allowed to read what the script was based off of.
Right. Yeah. And, like, this has been one of the most secretive plots and movies of all times. Like, they took a page from Game of Thrones and started filming fake scenes. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They filmed a bunch of fake scenes for the movie. And a lot of the actors don't even know what's actually in the movie and what's not.
Good.
Yeah. So
Wait. You mentioned Game of Thrones. Are you talking about their season or what's up?
yeah, like Game of Thrones season 7 did that.
Okay, you said that for movies. So I was like, wait, what? But you meant for like their season 8.
I mean, they did for season 7, probably doing it for season 8 too.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Walking Dead also did it with Negan because people were wondering who the hell did Negan kill. They did a really smart thing by having Negan, filming him kill multiple people. So no one knew, even if they happened to see like things on set.
You know what the sad thing is? I recently saw a post today where season 1 of Walking Dead had like a awesome high rating, something stupid great. Season 8 is barely above 50%.
Yeah, no,
their viewership is just right.
But not to be a downer on Walking Dead.
Me neither.
You know.
Yeah, it's just something I read. Yeah.
But no, back to the movie though. Just trying to think about like I don't know exactly how they ended or where they go with like the possible Adam Warlock tease because we do know that Adam is a thing in the movie,
and we know it's going to be a tease.
And that is if he's even included. You know, this is just us theorizing. I will say this though: if at any point, you guys, if at any point in the movie you hear someone say, "We have to do it. We need to go get him." Him is always going to be Adam Warlock.
Yep.
Adam Warlock wasn't always called Adam Warlock. His first name was just him, who's referred to as him. So if you ever hear the name drop him, it's Adam Warlock. So
done.
Yep.
If you see me doing this in the theater, that just means give me a high five. Because like, yep, that's right. You called that shit. We announced it. Yep. You heard it here. All right.
So let's talk about this kill count some.
Yes. Let's go back to the bet list.
Yeah. So I think that you and I both agree Loki's got to be on that list.
He's biting it.
Yep.
Goodbye, Tom.
Mm-hmm. You were a phenomenal character in the MCU.
Definitely so.
Yep. But
good luck in the future.
Yep. You gave us like 8 years of your time. So,
right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, Tom deserves to go off to other contracts too. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to 2 big names and just really dissect into them and talk about them because those are obviously also on the list of potential deaths here.
Right.
Captain America and Iron Man, will they, won't they? In the sense of death.
You know, it's so tricky to say because if Avengers 4 is a sequel, then I can see some of them staying till Avengers 4.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I can see that.
But I think that at least 3 big names die here.
Who are the other 2 then? What are we gonna say? Because we both agree on Loki.
Yep. I think that maybe it is Captain America that dies here.
I mean, he is the one going toe to toe with Thanos in Wakanda.
Well, we also see Iron Man go toe to toe with Thanos.
We see Iron Man go head to fist to ground with Thanos. Okay. I still cannot stop laughing at that hit because it's just instant. Doo-doo, boom.
Iron Man's like, I got my bleeding edge armor. I got my new good shit. What you got, Thanos?
What you got? I got a fist. Just instant down.
Right.
I loved it. Okay.
Let's see. But I mean, I think, you know, who knows? Maybe these trailers are fake out. Maybe Captain America survives this one and Iron Man bites the bullet.
True. I mean, that's always a possibility because we do recall conversation where Robert was talking about how he wants out. We know he's mentioned that. We know he's talked about it. We know that probably has not changed at all, you know, unless they were able to spellbind him with the amount of money they're giving him, you know, because, that's a lot of money.
I think he said that I think what he was really saying is that he's done with Iron Man solo movies, but he'll still do things like Avengers and Homecoming.
Okay. Because that would make sense. That's a lot less on his shoulders,
right?
And he would have freedom to go off to do other stuff,
right? And if you can get paid, you know, what was like $25 million for Homecoming, then why not?
What the shit? Yeah. Oh my gosh!
When you get paid more than the main actor in the movie,
that's some bullshit. Man, someone go get Tom Holland. Tell him I'm sorry. Send him a fruit basket.
I'm sure he's fine as shit. He's getting that Marvel money now.
Yeah.
I mean, after this phase is over, I think he, Doctor Strange, and Black Panther are going to be like the main.
Yeah.
Like the main people carrying the universe.
So that brings up another question: will we see Thor? Will we see Thor being put out of his misery, his one-eyed misery?
You know, it'd almost be too much to see Thor and Loki bite it.
I don't know.
You know,
I can see it.
You can see it.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's like the end of the Asgardians people.
Oh, no, duh. Better idea. I could see Thor, quote unquote, retire as much as a god could from being an Avenger to go be the king he was destined to be in a more Simba-esque sense of the Asgardians, taking them to a newer, safer location, which hopefully isn't in the middle of Oklahoma or something.
Yeah.
But
you know, my mind just made like this huge ass bridge.
What's that?
Of shit that would never happen. But I was like, yeah, he needs to retire, and then they just need to bring in Betty Ray Bill. And then I was like, oh, you know what? And I was like, if they bring in Betty Ray Bill, it's like they're also bringing back Ronan for the Captain Marvel movie. And then I was like, and with this deal going through with Fox, they could bring in Silver Surfer, and I was like, they could bring the Annihilators, which is like one of the most badass teams in the cosmic Marvel universe.
oh boy.
Yep. That'd be great. And also, Cosmo the Russian space dog, he's part of the team. He's in the MCU. They could use him. All they need to do is bring just a few more characters, and then we got it. Yeah.
I think you're really reaching, buddy. You didn't build a bridge anymore. You built like you know those highways in cartoons that are like warning unfinished road, and it's just like a big ass bridge that just drops into cliffside nothingness. That's what you have going right now. Like Wile E. Coyote just tricked. No, that was the coyote. Yeah, he just fell down.
I want you to know that if like 5 years from now, on comic news, I'll say, "Oh, Marvel announces an Annihilators movies." I'm gonna say, "Suck it, Kevin." And then
I could see that happening years from now, but not freaking this Thursday night now.
Oh no, no one said anything about this.
Oh, okay, okay. Damn.
No. But no, seriously, guys, give us Beta Ray Bill. Moving back to the movie though.
Here's a question for you. I know you hate this, but we have to talk about it.
Oh, have you finished our kill count yet?
Not yet, but real quick. It's just a small. It's just a small little intervention here. And yes, I chose that word on purpose because you'll hear. Would we get Beta Ray Bill or female Thor?
I feel like it'd make more sense to bring in Betty Ray Bill. I mean, it'd make more sense to bring him in.
Okay.
I mean, because you really have to go out of your way to make Jane Foster, Thor.
Especially since current Mjolnir is,
it's destroyed,
words, departed. Yeah. Right. So at that point, are we even going to get another Thor?
That's true.
Yeah.
Also, just another quick side note here. I actually heard that that run on Thor I heard was really, really good, so I may have to pick it up.
Okay.
However, I still say it's a dumbass move to name her Thor because Thor is not a title, Thor is a name. So I still think that's quite stupid. But no, I might have to pick up the actual comic run though, if it's that good.
Cool.
Yeah. But still, change your name.
Jane.
Yeah.
But, okay. Death Toll. Let's go back.
Yep.
We definitely got Loki. Thor, I believe, is going to retire. I don't think he dies.
Okay. That's a strong
Asgardians
theory.
need a leader. Heimdall could be the
I was going to
leader,
say Heimdall.
but I don't think he would accept it.
No?
No. Because he is dedicated to his role, his job. He's always been the guardian and the go-to guy for the king. He's going to keep that.
That's if he lives, because if the theory that his eyes are the soul gem is true.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's a really good theory, actually. Have we talked about that on air?
Mm-hmm.
We have? Okay, so cool.
Yeah.
Listen to the podcast.
It was maybe, I forget which one it was. Maybe the one before the last, I don't know. Yeah, that's one of the previous podcasts.
One of the
Yeah, but
one of the others. But
yeah, really quick though, you can just give it a quick rundown. The theory goes that Heimdall's eyes are actually the soul gem. They are the right color to represent the gem in the MCU.
Check.
And also, he uses his eyes to peer out into the nine realms, and he can see all the living souls within the realm.
2 checks.
Yep. So it would make feasible sense for his eyes to represent the stone. And also another thing that makes the following into place. If the whole theory that the Infinity Stones spell out Thanos' name is true, then Heimdall's eyes fits perfectly with the H that we're missing. Because we have T for Tesseract, it would be H for Heimdall's eyes. What comes after that? Oh, A. It would be A for the ether.
Yep. Yes, it is spelled with an A-E.
Yeah, it's A-E. Yep. And the N is the weakest one. It would be for necklace. That's the necklace of Doctor Strange wears, the Eye of Agamotto. Yeah. O for orb is what Ronan used. The orb power.
Shit, Thor's gonna lose a lot of people then. Loki.
And then then it'd be S for scepter, meaning Loki's scepter, which is now the mind gem. Mm-hmm. I mean, but yeah, so far that theory holds really strong about the items holding up to spell Thanos. Yeah, it could be Heimdall's eyes. It could be something to do with the heart-shaped herb, like I've been saying.
I think that one's still reaching by now. Maybe he does go to Wakanda, so we'll see. Yep. We'll see. Okay. So Thor is still one of those question mark ones, right? Because there's a lot of tragedy going on for him. I doubt that's going to be entirely tragedy on them, just on a narrative sense of things. I still think Thor is going to live. That's my bet. And
also, he's crafting a new hammer. I mean, so it'd be a little strange for him to go through all this trouble making this new hammer and then still get his dick put in the dirt. You know.
Shit. Okay, so let's move on. Mm-hmm. Captain Snake America.
I think it could be a clever misdirect. I think that maybe the trailers are leading everyone to believe that Captain America bites it in this one, but maybe he doesn't bite it until Avengers 4. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't bite it at all. Maybe he takes the Nick Fury position like he does in the comics.
I could see that. Mm-hmm. He's got the look for it now, you know. Mm-hmm. So, okay. Yeah. In that case, Iron Man, because one of them's got to go. Maybe agree. Not this movie, but definitely next movie. Yep. You know.
I think that in this movie,
they're both going to be okay.
Well, I don't know. I think in this movie, one of the two has to die.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you kill one now and then the other in the next one.
Okay.
I think that maybe Iron Man bites it. Okay. You know, what keeps coming to mind is that scene in Avengers 2 when Scarlet Witch touches Tony and gives him that vision. And
and he's kind of...
he sees all the Avengers. They're all laying down dead, and he's like kind of stepping over their bodies. And we don't see exactly what it leads to, but maybe Tony is thinking about that vision that he maybe wants to do whatever he needs to do to prevent that from happening.
True. I mean, at that point, that vision's got a few questions behind it because we don't see Captain America or Tony in the same scenes at all in the trailers.
We don't.
In other words, we don't even see them in the same damn location. You know, we do see War Machine, however, in Wakanda. If you look carefully in the trailers, he is, behind our girl Scarlett Johansson, and but okay, so
it's interesting because I was first gonna say it seems like Team Wakanda is fighting the Black Order in Wakanda, while maybe Team Iron Man, which is like Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man, and maybe the Guardians are fighting Thanos in some other location.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like at first.
No, that's what it does. Yeah,
but then we see Thanos show up in Wakanda. So,
well, he does have the space gem. I mean, I'm sure there's teleportation somewhere in line with that. Just like, oh, my Black Order, something's going on with him. Here's another name I'm going to throw into the list.
Yeah.
Peter Quill.
Oh. No.
You don't think so? Do you think Chris Pratt's got some more time in him?
I think he lives.
Okay. All right.
It's hard to envision the Guardians without
We need
him.
a big ass marker board that says dead, living, and to tape names to each side. Yeah. Okay.
Well, we do have a big ass board, but we have all our Patreon stuff written on it. By the way, check out our Patreon page coming soon.
Yeah, Patreon. Advertisements. Yeah. All right.
But no, it would be really ballsy to kill off Star-Lord.
It really would, because their story's not done yet, you know?
It's not done.
He and Gamora aren't done yet. There's still more development for the team.
I think that maybe Drax bites it.
I think he should bite it Avengers 4. As he gets the killing blow on Thanos.
Oh, so you think that Thanos' downfall is going to be by Drax?
It needs to, damn it. That's been Drax's bit. That's been his deal, man. Okay, give it to the man. He took his green away from him and his cape. Come on.
You know who I think beats Thanos?
Please don't say Iron Man.
I think that Thanos beats Thanos. That's been his biggest downfall in the comics. Has always been his own insecurities. He's always been his own weakness.
Yeah.
Because even in Infinity Gauntlet, Adam Warlock breaks it down for him, and he says, "Look, like, you know why you lost the gauntlet? You know why you lost this fight? You shouldn't have lost. You should have killed us all.
Yeah.
You lost because deep down inside you wanted to lose because you know that you're not worthy. You know that you know that you're not. You don't feel like you're good enough to have all that power." Adam Warlock just breaks it down for Thanos and tells him why he lost. I think that Thanos' own insecurities could play a role in his own downfall.
The question is, will they take such a great narrative? Will they actually do that in the movie? You know, because that's a heavy message.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of these movies nowadays, they go more the route of what's guaranteed to make money rather than what's guaranteed to leave a message.
That's
you know,
true.
I mean,
That's true.
Especially these comic book movies, they're guilty of obeying the science and obeying a format to make the money.
Right.
You know,
that's the thing about this movie, man. It's like, do you go the safe route or do you just go balls to the wall?
You need to go balls to the walls, damn
Yeah.
it. That's a bias, and I don't care who says what, and I don't care who calls me out on that shit, but it needs to happen. You've built up to this movie. It's a big deal. You're going to make the money. Just make the message, please, for us. Give us something, damn it. Don't give me the same bullshit storybook nothingness, okay? Don't make me think I paid out to watch this great movie and then in a month it's gonna be like a damn Netflix special, okay? This needs to be an immediate classic, okay? It needs to have power, it needs to have emotion, it needs to do something more so than just be the news of the month, okay? Yeah. Damn it.
Damn, that
I threw my beard comb to the ground.
Yeah,
I'm tired of worthless movies.
I agree with you. I do.
That needs to be my T-shirt. I'm tired of worthless movies.
They do need to just go balls to the walls with this one, you know.
Yeah.
And which, you know, I don't know, like you know how I feel about Winter Soldier. I think that the Russos did an amazing job.
Oh yeah.
With Civil War, I think that they did a lot of things really well, but I think that the overarching theme of it was not there. The overall narrative was wrong with Civil War, but they did still a lot of things good in that movie.
Right.
But they didn't stick the landing with it for me. I'm hoping that with this movie that they can stick the landing.
Yeah.
And that, you know, they can give us a great execution.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I also fear that, like you said, just last podcast, we were talking about our super high expectations for The Force Awakens. Like, and maybe that's our own fault. We had ridiculously high expectations, and then, you know, it was like halfway through the movie where like I realized that this movie's not gonna get any better, is it? And then we walked out, and we were the only ones that were quiet walking out because
everyone else is nerding out in their Darth Vader capes and with their toy lightsabers, and Q and I are just complacent and apathetic.
Yeah. A little sad, a little let down. But I'm saying that because I'm hoping that that's not going to happen here. Because with this movie, we also have really high expectations.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to be our downfall walking into
Exactly. You know, we need to have that open mind. We need to understand the format. You know, as we have been. We've been talking about how so many of these movies fall under that same idea, and how so many of these movies have a great intro and a great beginning and a great first third of movie, essentially, and then slowly, as you said, it decrescendos. It becomes such a lower quality. Wait, where the hell are they going with the plot? Wait, why is the character doing this? That character change makes no sense. They're not leading up to it. They don't stick the landing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but, you're right though. I guess ultimately, like, I'm really hoping that they can give us something that is cohesive, something that makes sense. Because, like with Civil War, I feel like that they relied on the concept to really draw people in and to really get people hooked. But the concept alone wasn't enough.
Yeah. Like, it didn't make for a strong movie. It made for a successful, quote-unquote, movie by their definition.
It was extremely successful.
Right.
Yeah.
But it didn't make for a quality, good movie. You know?
I will say this. It didn't make for a good ending, and the entire Zemo plot could have been thrown out.
Yeah.
Like, if you take Zemo out and then change the ending, I think you have a really good movie.
At that point, if you took more from the damn comics at that point, you could have had a way better movie, you know?
Well, it's like they strayed from the concept, and that's what I'm going at with this movie.
Right, yeah.
Is that I think that maybe, I'm hoping that they don't stray from the concept of what this movie is essentially based off of, but who knows? I mean, I feel like they kind of have to stray from it.
They have to stray a little bit because of the things that they've done. For instance, our current Guardians is a whole new remix of Guardians, so we know that much. I mean, we just got some cool shit that they've done for the movies that has been fun up till now, but now we need to see it all actually cohesively work together.
Right.
And I don't want to say we deserve a quality movie, because that makes me sound more like a high expectant millennial bullshitter type, you know, and that's not who I want to be. At this point, I'm just really wishing and hoping that we as an audience demand more of our movie-going experience than just a feel-good nothingness, you know?
Yeah, I don't see this being a feel-good movie. At least that's not the vibe I get from the trailers.
Right. I mean, I'm going more for the idea. No, this movie definitely needs to be less feel-goody and more, oh shit, that just happened.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, and once again, I'm probably just setting myself up here, but like, I don't see. I feel like Thanos just has to win in the end of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Avengers 4, a different story, but in this movie, I feel like he has to win.
Hence the snap you're talking about. Yeah, the power snap.
Exactly, yeah. Hence the snap. I mean, it's killing half the universe.
Yeah. Avengers 4, we need to see that one kind of build up and be a great introductory to the characters, but we don't need to see it skip through all that just to get to the introduction of characters and all that. No. But in this movie, we need to see Thanos become an actual threat. You don't one and done Thanos, people, okay?
Right.
You don't treat him like Malekith or like the Red Skull or like our freaking dadgum like
who Yellow Jacket? Caecilius?
Also, yes. Who was just an empty slate for me. Freaking
Caecilius has got to be like the worst, though.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Or 10 Rings.
Oh, Mandarin.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If halfway through the movie Thanos just goes, oh, no, I'm just an actor. I'm not really Thanos.
If Ben Kingsley shows up in this movie, I'm going to be pissed. So
I guess before we wrap up here, let's just talk about a few more things here.
Sure.
I mean, we already kind of touched on these, but I guess we can just throw a few more things out there. Special cameos. We already mentioned people like Nova and Adam Warlock.
Yep.
Anyone else you're expecting or hoping for?
Maybe an inkling of Captain Marvel. Maybe.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Right. I mean, we do know that Jude Law is playing Mar-Vell in the Captain Marvel movie. Oh, which Captain Marvel were we talking about? You said Mar-Vell, didn't you?
The one we've actually already seen pictures of. The one that we know has been casted.
Gotcha. Brie Larson. Okay.
Yes.
Carol Danvers.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a chance we could see her too. I would like to see Mar-Vell in this movie also, just because Mar-Vell and Thanos have such a deep history with one another.
That's a good point. At least maybe like enter conversation with him and the Black Order talking about the shit he's had gone through to get to this point, and Marvel being brought up because of that.
Oh yeah,
cool.
If they name drop him, that'd be cool too.
Yeah. Because at least that would be a good seedling beginning to the beginning of Brie Larson's bullshit and going on with all of that. Not that it's bullshit. You get what I'm saying, though. All of her stuff.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah.
But I guess just on a real quick side note, since we mentioned
What's up?
Kara Danvers as Captain Marvel, how do you feel about us just going straight for her as Captain Marvel and skipping over Miss Marvel?
No emotion. I'm going to wait and see how it comes off before I judge it, you know? It's one of those, if they can make the narrative work well type things, you know?
That's the best attitude to take from it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yourself? You're irate! No, I'm kidding.
No, I will say this. Most of what I read from her has been her run as Miss Marvel.
Okay.
Not to say that I don't like her as Captain Marvel. Of course I do. But she's, chronologically speaking, in the comics, she's spent way less time as Captain Marvel as she has as Miss Marvel. And I just think it'd be cool to see that transition. But
no, you're right. That would have been an awesome lead-in. But
I'll take what I can get. I'm fine.
Same here.
Another one that I think would be cool to show up, but once again, I don't think this is going to happen at all. But it would be super cool if it did.
Who's that?
Silver Surfer.
Oh, now you're dreaming, man. Now you're really dreaming. I mean, we already see the Hulk taking Silver Surfer's role. He's like, Hulk lands and Silver Surfer tries to land, and Hulk's like, nah, bro, I got this. This is my crater. Go find another one.
Oh, man. Yeah. It'd be fun to see him. We already mentioned Adam Warlock. Now, that one is actually a small possibility.
Yeah, that one has a higher possibility than some of these others.
I think Adam Warlock and Captain Marvel have the highest probabilities of showing up, simply because we know that they're introduced in the MCU. We've seen Adam's Cocoon, and obviously we know that the Captain Marvel movie is filming or has already been filmed.
We've already seen Brie up in costume, which for some reason is black and green.
It's the Kree uniform.
So. Thank you.
Yep.
I forgot that.
Anyone else you think could potentially show up?
Sylvester Stallone. I'm joking.
I guess Stakar could make an appearance. I don't know. I don't know why you would, but
yeah. I was about to say Tyrion Lannister, maybe. I don't know.
Well, who's Peter Dinklage going to be?
I think he's going to be a voice for the Black Order.
For the Black Order.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see a person who's supposed to be bigger than damn Thanos, who's already Josh Brolin CG work. You know. I can see that being like, okay, get Peter Dinklage's voice up in that, and just CG an 8-foot giant, please. You know.
You think it's going to be Ebony Maw? I mean, no, Ebony Maw's not. I mean, you think it's going to be the Black Dwarf? That's the only one that's giant in the Black Order.
He's already played a dwarf before. I got a pun.
Yeah.
No,
Black Dwarf would be a waste for him to play. Black Dwarf, no offense, is one of the least interesting members of Black Order.
You're right. Peter Dinklage needs more.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude.
It was, by the way, interesting side note. So Black Dwarf, in the movie, his name is different. They're calling him Obsidian Cole in the movie.
What the?
I don't know. I'm not
black.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not mad at it. I'm just. I just thought it was
like
interesting.
I'm indifferent right now. Like, oh, what the shit?
Right. It's just an interesting change, and also, Supergiant is not even in the movie, which I'm not mad at either because her powers are kind of similar to Ebony Maw's powers, so we don't really need two of the same type. But no, I think the four members that we have in the movie are going to be good enough.
Cool.
Another theory about Peter Dinklage that maybe he's either playing Pip the Troll, which I kind of hope not.
Yeah.
Pip the Troll is someone that Adam Warlock chooses to be a member of the Infinity Watch. The Infinity Watch are people who were designated to watch over certain Infinity Gems and to keep them for safeguarding. Okay. And Pip was one of them. And yes, he is a small little troll. And someone else, I can't take credit for this one, but someone else said that no, he's going to be one of the dwarves that helps Thor create Stormbreaker. Which,
okay,
yeah,
I still kind of wish Peter got a bigger role, but
Yeah.
We'll see. We will see. I could totally see some of that voice acting work going for him.
Yeah, I think at least I hope he's either Corvus Glaive or Ebony Maw. Like he has to voice one of those two. I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean that's how you get the best from Peter Dinklage. I think. But yeah, could be wrong. I guess before we wrap up, Kevin, we already talked a little bit about this, but do you think the movie could end? How do you hope, or how do you think the movie's going to end?
The movie needs to end on the most tragic note we've seen in all of the MCU thus far. It doesn't need to be this happy storybook bullshit. It needs to be something powerful that shows Thanos is at his best. It needs to be something that shows his omnipotence, okay? But it needs to be something that still gives us an inkling of hope, too.
Yeah.
Something that shows us, hey, we haven't lost the fight yet. There's still a round 2 and a round 3, okay? But round 1, Thanos needs to take that no sweat, no blood.
Yeah.
Easy. I'm not saying no sweat, no blood, like no violence. No, this movie needs to have some great action. But no sweat, no blood, as in he just did it that well. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, like we've already discussed, I also think the movie needs to end with Thanos on top.
Yeah,
you know, like you said, like I like exactly what you said. Thanos, he needs to be the victor, but the Avengers need to look like they still have a fighting chance. Like they can still come back somehow. But for the time being, it definitely looks like Thanos has won.
Right. We have enough powerful writers and hopefully enough clear thinkers who can see the bigger picture well enough to actually put that ending in place for us. Right. Now, whether or not the executive gods allow that to happen, we'll find out,
Yeah.
They're the ones who really hold the power gems.
Right.
But,
oh, I guess one more special cameo I forgot to mention that we could see. Lady Death.
Yeah. Oh, man. We don't know who's playing her, do we?
Well, I don't even know if she's in the movie. So.
I hope... I could see her being an Avengers 4 only show. Kind of like, that's when the Avengers finally learn why the hell he does what the hell he does, type thing. But, mixed emotions. Yeah. I'd love to hear about her and maybe see a small appearance in this movie too. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm open for whatever I get with her.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Any other closing comments before we close this one up?
I'm looking forward to this movie. I'm praying and I'm hoping and I'm positive vibing that this is actually a great movie and it's not like an overzealous and over, like... What am I trying to say? Let me find better wording for it so I don't piss off a lot of people. I'm hoping that they don't turn it into, like I said earlier, another stand-up session where it's like, oh, let's get a bunch of jokes in here with some mixed-in action and, purple Stone Cold Steve Austin, I'm hoping that they tie everything together in summary, like the landing we were talking about, like the narrative. I'm hoping we didn't guess half the damn plot. And I'm hoping, that we can thoroughly enjoy this, that it's actually a powerful movie that does really well, I'm hoping to see our first villain survive a movie.
We've seen other villains survive.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Actually get through this movie and have a chance of showing up again.
I hope we get to see our first villain win, kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I also have. No matter how much I tell myself that maybe I should calm down some, I can't help but to have extremely high expectations for this movie.
Yeah.
My expectations are literally through the roof. There's a hole in my roof.
Like right now, I have expectations on a few smaller details, but my hopes I find are literally my biggest things I want this movie to have.
Right. And now let me clarify. When I say that my expectations are really high, I don't mean that everything that we said I want to come to pass. No. These are just our theories as to what we think could happen, and then some of these things are what we hope will happen. But my expectations are just that the movie is really good quality, and that they don't stray from the tone. I mean, I'd need to see, the Guardians and Spider-Man, have their humorous moments when appropriate. Most definitely.
Right. I mean, we already catch wind a few times of that.
Yeah, that's cool. That needs to happen. We need to have that in the movie.
Yeah, because who doesn't enjoy it? Just
right, and
he's
also
like the appropriately placed.
I mean, it'd be a sin to their characters to not have them have that humor, you know. So that needs to be in it. But like I said, just at appropriate moments. Like, you don't need to be fighting Thanos and then cracking jokes while fighting Thanos.
Right.
Except for maybe Peter Quill. I can kind of see him doing it.
Yeah, maybe him. But I don't see him looking around looking for Scotch tape either this time, you know? Yeah.
Well, maybe not. But yeah, guys. So that's gonna be it for our Infinity War preview podcast.
Yeah.
Let's see if we get anything right, if anything.
If you guys have any other comments or theories or anything, please feel free to share them with us. You know, before the movie would make more sense.
Yeah. Also, guys, of course, the Superhero Homie podcast would not be. We don't have anything this coming Wednesday. We're gonna hold off till Thursday. That's when
Same
we'll be joined.
normal.
Yeah, we'll have Caleb with us for our Infinity War review podcast. So that's gonna be really awesome. We're gonna have 3 really hyped guys talking about a movie that we just saw. So yeah, immediately after we're done seeing the movie, we're gonna come back here and we're gonna podcast on it. Look forward to having Caleb here again. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for tonight. And as always, if you guys have any kind of questions, comments, skills, thirst, food supplies, infinity gems that we don't know about, if you have that damn soul gem, then hit us up at superherohomies@gmail.com or the Facebook page Superhero Homies. And yeah, guys, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. And yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for now. But as always, tell all your friends and family about the Superhero Homies.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, and we will see you guys again after we see Infinity War.
Very much so.
Yep. All right, guys, I'm Quentin.
I'm Kevin.
Until next time.